Welcome everyone to the Reading Writing Corner. I am your host, Leanne, and I want to welcome y'all here on this rainy day for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, it is definitely rainy. And if you're first time here, hello, come in, sit down. Let's talk about Break the Day by Laura Adrian. This is, of course, part of a series called Midnight Breed, or hashtag Midnight Breed. Next Generation. So about the series. 20 years have passed. Breed and humans must live openly together following the blood wars of the past, where rogue vampires hunted and fed without discretion. Now it is up to the Order to maintain peace between mankind and the breed, all while bold new enemies rise from all sides, conspiring to shatter the fragile truce and ignite a war to end all others. What made me read this book? It is the 16th book in the series, or the 6th book in the second part of the series, and we are so close to the end, and now it seems that the Atlanteans are everywhere. Atlanteans, I keep saying Atlanteans. Atlanteans are everywhere. They're everywhere in this book. Like, everywhere. Not time goes by when they're not in it for some strange reason or another. Okay. So, the blurb for the book. Got it? Okay, here we go. After a shocking betrayal nearly killed him and the people he cares about the most, what breed warrior Rafe wants more than anything is revenge against the insidious brotherhood called Opus Nostrum. But to achieve that goal, he must turn his back on the Order and infiltrate a dangerous gang with ties to Opus. Risking everything to redeem himself and carry out his deep cover mission, Rafe will let nothing stand in his way, least of all his desire for one of the loyalists he should despise, a mysterious, dark-haired beauty named Devaney Winters. But Devaney has secrets of her own to protect, as well as a personal duty she will do anything to fulfill, and as a daywalker, passing herself off as human to the gang she's been in bed with for months. The last thing she needs is a dangerous former member of the Order unraveling all her hard work. Her plans depend on keeping Rafe at arm's length, but if she surrenders to the dark need he stirs within her, it will be her heart that pays the ultimate price. A little foreboding within the blurb. So basically, Rafe is betrayed in a way that he could not get over, and thus he decided to infiltrate the Opus Nostrum to take them down from the inside. But things do not go his way as complications after complications happens. Devaney was unexpected in his way and threw him for a loop. Can Rafe keep his comfort and protect this female? And of course, Devaney has her own secrets that she must protect while she is part of this gang. The setup of characters and motives for Rafe and Devaney are clear and concise. The background is explored as much as needed for the readers to understand their motives. The characters react the same way as I imagined anyone would in the types of situation the characters get into, which are preparing for war, infiltrating gangs to root out the evil and, protect their loved ones. The genre is considered to be paranormal romance, of course. Laura Adrian is nothing but paranormal romance for the Midnight Breed series. Did this live up to my expectations? Yes, it did. It had more information in it than it did in the previous books, because we're only technically 2 away from the ending. And it needed to pump out some more information about the Order. Which character did I relate to the most? Devaney. Finding out you have long-lost relatives is the norm in my life, apparently, because I found out I knew I had 2 sisters, but they were long lost because I didn't know where they lived or what they were doing or anything about them until, they're found and reunited. The secondary character, I guess, that was most outstanding in all this, his friends, I guess. Eric and the rest of his friends that he supposedly betrayed. I forgot all their names. That point in your life when you just forget names, because there's so many of them in this series that you just forget who they are, okay? Anyways, his friends were the secondary characters that stood out because I actually believe the betrayal of Rafe, even though they should have trusted him because his whole life has been dedicated to the Order, because, his parents are part of the Order and have always been part of the Order. Well, most of his life. His entire life. And he's also the eldest one. He was the first one born from the people within the order with dedications to the order. What was more important, the characters or the plot? The characters are more important as they move the plot forward, and it's continuing, especially since what Devaney and Rafe find out about the Opus Nostrum is big. It's huge. It only had 2 different voices within this, so it didn't really affect my rating at all. I mean, as you notice, it'll never affect my rating whether or not it has 1 POV, third person POV, or even 20 POVs. It's just, it doesn't affect my rating, because I just take it and I roll with it, because that's what you should do when you're reading books, is you should just roll with what the author has, especially if it's a good book and it's got good details and it's just a hooker. It hooks you in and it just doesn't let you go. To end this non-spoiler part of the review with, should you go and read this story/series? Yes, if you enjoy reading about vampires, Atlanteans, aliens, and romance, as well as a brewing war, then yes, you should read this. You should definitely read this. It is very good. Okay? So, if you don't want to be spoiled, I suggest you leave, but before you leave, drop a like, comment, or even a lovely or you leave a lovely subscription down below and tell me what you think. If you want to stay for spoilers, hold on a second while the other ones leave. Okay, so you meet the main characters, side characters, and important main characters within this book at some point. One of them you actually don't meet until towards the end, which is of course the baddie with this story. Oh, you know, I just noticed. This is actually right here, this little mark. I don't know if you can see it, but this little mark is actually the birthmark for all of the breed mates. So, there's that. I didn't notice that before. Okay, so the characters you meet in this one that are new is Devaney Winters, with her ability to siphon off powers of others. She's a daywalker, of course. Her mother was actually one of the first daywalkers created with with an ancient like Tavia Fairchild. So she mates with Rafe in the end. There's these 3 people towards the end you learn about: Grayson, Jade, and Lachan. They're daywalkers that become part of a team that Eric Chase put together that Rafe ends up being a part of as well, and in the end that is supposed to operate outside of somewhere. Part of a team that Eric puts together, daywalkers and the like. Rafe is not actually a daywalker, but he joins in with the team of daywalkers because you do need somebody that patrols at night, I guess. And then you have, of course, the bad guy, Harrison Winters. He's a daywalker. He's the brother to Devaney, and he has the same ability as her, which is to siphon off powers of others. He's the evil dick in this one, as in he's the one who blew up the building where his parents were working, because his father was actually close to finding out that he was the one leaking information to Opus Nostrum, behind the order's back and everything, behind, the enforcement agency's back and all of that lovely stuff. So he was the one who did it, and he killed his parents for a reason, and then he pretended he was dead, hoping that Devaney, who was into music and everything like that because her parents forced her to be into that, would never find out about it. And when she does, because she gets tangled in with this gang, he comes along and he's like, okay, Devaney, join us, okay? Opus Nostrum knows what they're talking about. Join us. And she's like, no, I'm not doing it. So there's a big battle, and Rafe and Devaney end up nixing him. And Harrison actually tried to use his ability to siphon off Devaney's powers to make her weak, but he couldn't because she was mated to Rafe, and it protected her. There are 2 POVs within this. My phone just went off. And those are Xander Rafe Malabranche, and Devaney Winters. My favorite character was Devaney because she was smart and quick and devoted to getting revenge for her parents and her supposed brother's death. And that's why she joined the gang. Because she knew it was Opus Nostrum that killed them, and she wanted to join the gang, root out all the information that the gang had, and take them down because she blamed them for her family's death. My most disliked character was Harrison Winters. He was an Opus Nostrum that had sunk their teeth into him and convinced him to murder his own family in order to keep his cover. Devaney was not a target at first because her parents shielded her from the world, and he does go to kill his own sister when he finds out that she's going after Opus Nostrum people. But they convinced him that ending the breed's life is a good thing, even though he is a daywalker breed. Okay? It's terrible. Terrible. It was told in chronological order with appropriate language for a paranormal romance book. It had a good amount of foreshadowing and suspense. The part where Rafe's friends bring up the vision of Rafe's future mate that his mother Tess had seen in Mira's eyes was one of them. That was really good. The background of Devaney was explored well enough for us to understand her desire to destroy Opus Nostrum. She had not trusted Rafe when they first met because he was undercover, but she learned to trust him despite her own background. The title of the book meant that Rafe and Devaney were able to break into the daylight and use it to their advantage, unlike before. The cover of the book shows the main couple falling in love along with the Dharmaglyphs, because they're different every time. What stood out as memorable was that Devaney was willing to do anything for her family. I was happy to read that Devaney had more family than she had ever known. Because, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure Tavia, Eric, and Karis, they're her family. Because Devaney's mother was Tavia Fairchild's sister. Because there's a lot of relationships going on in here. Because, I mean, like, they're all made from the same ancient. Like, I believe even Nathan and Hunter are also related to Devaney in some way, shape, or form. My favorite passage from the story is they were all the family she'd had. She let her fingers rest on the cold glass that covered them. This is after her parents had died. The way she mourned them it was interesting, and I liked it. My favorite quote was, "Whatever my mother saw makes no difference to me. Rafe does not care what future he could have without Devaney because he wants Devaney." Lo and behold, Devaney was his destiny. So what I thought about the end of the book, it was okay. I'm glad, happy, ecstatic that the person Tess saw was Devaney, and that Devaney was welcomed into the order with open arms despite what she had did. Well, not despite, because I mean, like, hello, she was infiltrating Opus Nostrum to take them down using her father's research that was given to Gideon, so it was helpful in a lot of ways. What I did not like was the way Rafe and the Order dealt with him going undercover to be a spy. At least Rafe and Devaney survived her crazy brother trying to kill them. What did this book remind me of? Jacqueline Frank's Nightwalker series. Of course, once we get into reading that, you'll understand why it reminded me of Jacqueline Frank's Nightwalker series when I review it. If you have read Jacqueline Frank's Nightwalker series, you will know why it reminds me of it. Well, you'll know why that series is being reminded while I'm reading the Midnight Breed series. And if you have read the Nightwalker series and haven't read Lara Adrian's Midnight Breed series, you should totally do that because they're a lot alike in a lot of ways. And I'm beginning to think my Larissa Iona series that I have and my Pamela Palmer series that I have also are similar to Midnight Breed and the Nightwalker series. As you know, this is part of a series called the Midnight Breed Next Generation, and a part of the Midnight Breed original series, and it has 27 books and a compendium. I hope the compendium has everything you need in it if you want to know more about them. Maybe even with people that we don't know that aren't revealed within this is in that compendium. At least I hope so. I rate this book a 4 out of 5 simply because it moves the plot forward and it has a good revenge plot going on within it. So if you think I deserve a like, comment, or even your lovely subscription, drop it down below. I will see you next illusion.